What's going on, everybody? We got a long episode in the books tonight. We're talking NickMercs Pride, part 3 of the LCS saga, Twitch falling apart, so buckle up, hit that like button, and let's get into it. Starting with NickMercs and the firestorm he created on Twitter last week. This all goes back to Glendale, California last week, where Pride Month was being discussed at a school board meeting, and then LGBTQ protesters attacked LGBTQ families, which led to NickMercs tweeting out, "They should leave the little children alone. That's the real issue." And that didn't sit well with most creators and streamers, rightly so, with many calling him out for his homophobia, with Puckett chiming back in and saying, "I think the goal of most of them is to reduce child suicides. This is done through acceptance and removing the stigma of feeling and being different." And another person even saying, "Recognizing a month as Pride Month so that kids learn to be accepting of all people from a young age and normalizing differences can only be a good thing." And I kind of get what he's going for. Yes, parents should be more involved with their child's education anyway, but a lot of students don't have the luxury of discussing things like their identity at home with their parents, and overall acceptance isn't really something that shouldn't be taught in schools anyway. But the backlash didn't end with just words. Even Activision Blizzard got involved last week too, removing the NickMercs bundle from all of their Call of Duty titles, saying their focus is on celebrating Pride with their employees and community. Whether any of that will have a real impact on NickMercs, probably not. He's built a community that has the same ideologies as him, and he had a lot of streamers surprisingly come out in support of him. Guys like Dr. Disrespect and Tim the Tabman even asking for Call of Duty to remove his bundle from the game entirely. But I'll end this one with exactly how it started, going back to Puckett's original tweet, "Let people love who they love and live your own life." Next, it's part 3 of the LCS trilogy. I'm calling this one Episode 6, Return of the Summer Split. Alright, so to catch you up to speed, on May 31st, Riot announced changes to the NACL, that is the Tier 2 of the LCS, which led to most teams dropping their rosters overnight. So the Players Association teamed up with the players to stage a walkout in protest to those changes, and that forced Riot to cancel the summer split for at least 2 weeks, with them saying they could even cancel the whole split if it came to it. But now the LCS is set to return on June 14th after it was announced late Friday night that the LCS and the LCSPA had reached a deal. The deal includes items like revenue share on sponsorship, severance packages for players, and a new set of minimum standards that NACL teams must meet starting from 2024. Now, the most observant of you might realize that none of the LCSPA demands were actually met in this agreement, and you're not alone, with many calling out the LCSPA, some saying, "This just reads like the LCSPA lost out heavily in negotiations and realized they had no leverage." And to that point, the LCSPA are saying that they're still working on unresolved issues, and this was just the bare minimum to get the LCS season restarted. So if anything comes out of these talks, we'll just have to wait and see. Y'all, this was a terrible week for Twitch. On Tuesday, Twitch announced changes to their terms of service, most notably prohibiting streamers from using burned-in audio and video ads or display ads over 3% of the screen size. And this caused a massive backlash in the streamer community because this is the primary way that streamers make any money on the platform. Twitch quickly backtracked on their policy though, initially saying that they were just misunderstood and it needed to be explained, trying to cover their ass. But the next day, they straight up said that they got it wrong and were gonna change it again to make it right. But that hasn't stopped a massive surge of streamers off of the platform, with many going to rival platforms like YouTube and Kick, with Kick even thanking Twitch for doubling their all-time sign-up record. Okay, so to weigh in, yeah, Twitch messed up pretty hard here, and this isn't the first time that they've angered all of the streamers on the platform, but YouTube still hasn't figured out how to navigate a live website, and Kick is just a terrible platform. From straight up stealing Twitch's design to housing incredibly racist and sexist streamers like Aiden Ross. I mean, the only reason Kick even exists in the first place is because their parent company Stake was kicked off of Twitch for trying to promote gambling to kids. So I'll pass the question off to you. Where will you go to watch your live content from now on? Okay, gonna end on a little bit of a lower note today. Earlier this week, Team Vitality announced in a tweet the passing of their pro player Twisten. According to the assistant coach Gorilla, Twisten took his own life after battling depression. Despite the heartbreaking news, Twisten's impact won't be forgotten on the scene, with esports analyst Ryan Central proposing that everybody donate money to local charities for every shorty kill that happens in the next event, VCT Masters Tokyo. Many players and organizations like M80 have already pledged their support, with M80 even saying they'll donate up to $100 for every shorty kill. This, of course, inspired by Twisten's own campaign earlier this year in Sao Paulo, where he ultimately donated over 1,400 euros to a local animal welfare charity doing the same thing. If you or someone you know is struggling, please reach out to the Suicide Prevention Helpline in the US. Twisten's final tweet read, "Good night," and he was 19 years old. I'll see you next time, everyone.